All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about one of the most famous tools out there, the MACD indicator. But there's a huge paradox here. If everybody's using it, why do so many traders fail with it? We're going to break that down. It all really starts with this one kind of shocking number. Financial studies show that a staggering 89% of retail traders lose money. And get this, a lot of them are using the exact same professional grade tools, like MACD, as the pros who are making a living from this stuff. So what on earth is going on? And that, right there, is the big question for today. The problem isn't the tool. It's not broken. The real issue is the massive gap between just having a tool and knowing how to use it properly. So, first up, let's explore this very paradox. We're going to look at the huge difference in performance between a novice and a pro, even when they're staring at the exact same indicator on their screen. Check this out. It's pretty wild. One analysis found that traders who just blindly take every MACD crossover signal have a win rate of only 38%. That's a one-way ticket to blowing up your account. But the traders who learned how to filter those signals, they had a 62% win rate. We're talking about the same tool, but two totally different worlds of results. The difference isn't the indicator, it's the understanding. So, to close that gap, we gotta go a little deeper. The real secret to using MACD isn't about memorizing patterns. It's about understanding the simple but really powerful math behind it. And it all comes down to one word: momentum. Okay, so first you've got the MACD line itself. Think of this as the engine of the whole thing. All it is a fast-moving average minus a slow-moving average. It's just a raw number that tells you how fast the current trend is moving. Simple as that. Next up is the signal line. Now, this is just a moving average of the MACD line we just talked about. Its whole job is to be a filter, or maybe a trigger. It smooths out that raw momentum data, helping you figure out if a change in speed is the real deal or if it's just market noise. And then you've got my favorite part, the histogram. Those little bars, this is brilliant. It just visually shows you the distance between the engine, the MACD line, and its filter, the signal line. When those bars get bigger, momentum is accelerating. When they shrink, momentum is slowing down. It's literally your visual accelerator pedal. So here's the key takeaway. Price tells you the trend. MACD tells you how fast that trend is speeding up or slowing down. It's kind of like a second derivative in physics. It gives you this early warning system that looking at price alone just can't give you. Okay, so now that we know what all the parts do, let's talk about the signals they create. Because the real skill here isn't just spotting a signal, it's learning how to separate the really good, high-probability ones from all the noise and traps the market throws at you. And this just perfectly illustrates the point. A study of NASDAQ stocks showed that if you take every single MACD crossover, your win rate is about 48%. That's actually worse than a coin flip once you factor in commissions and slippage. But by adding just a couple of simple filters, that win rate rocketed up to 71%. I mean, which side of that chart do you want to be on? Professionals really think about MACD signals in a sort of hierarchy. At the bottom, you've got the basic signal line crossover. It happens all the time, but it's also the noisiest. A step up is the center line crossover, which is great for confirming trend strength. And way up at the top, you have divergence, the most powerful reversal signal, but also the one most people get wrong. And yeah, even with divergence, not all of them are created equal. You have what some call a Class B divergence, which happens randomly in the middle of a trend. It's basically a coin flip, a 45% chance of working. But a Class A divergence, one that lines up with a major price level and is confirmed on a higher time frame, that has a 74% probability of success. See, context is literally everything. And that brings us to what is probably the single biggest aha moment for most traders. There's one simple rule, one piece of context that will determine whether MACD becomes your best friend or your absolute worst enemy. And here it is. MACD is a trend-following tool. It was built to measure momentum inside a trend. So in markets that are clearly moving up or down, signal accuracy is high, around 67%. But in a choppy, sideways market where price is just bouncing around, its accuracy plummets to 41%. Using MACD in the wrong market is like trying to use a screwdriver as a hammer. It just wasn't designed for that job. So how do we put all this together? How do we make it actionable? Well, the pros have a system. They boil all this down into a simple, repeatable, 3-step playbook for finding way, way better signals. The playbook is this simple. Step 1, filter your signal. That means making sure you're in the right market, a trending one. Step 2, confirm that signal. Look at a higher time frame chart. Does the big picture agree? And step 3, combine the momentum signal from MACD with what the price itself is actually doing. So this becomes a super practical checklist. Before you even think about taking a trade, you ask yourself these questions. Is the market actually trending? Does the weekly chart agree with what I'm seeing on the daily? Is the price breaking a key level? And is that histogram expanding, showing me that momentum is on my side? If you can't say yes to these, the odds just aren't in your favor. And the results of this discipline? They're undeniable. Backtesting shows that an unfiltered, chaotic system has a profit factor below 1, which means it's guaranteed to lose money over time. But a filtered system, using these exact rules, has a profit factor of nearly 2. That means for every dollar you risk, you make almost 2 back. This isn't about getting lucky. It's about having a disciplined process. And that really leaves us with one final thought. The MACD isn't some magic crystal ball. The data is clear. Its real power is unlocked not by finding some secret setting, but by applying it with context and with discipline. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, what's your goal? Is it just search forever for the perfect indicator? Or is it to become a disciplined trader?